Hello and Randy here playing Farming Simulator 22, and welcome back to the 36X Spring Creek map here. We've been hibernating here the last couple of days here on the map. We're now into the month of July. I think we were in April before, right, Evan? I think it was April we were doing the last planting. So since last episode, I've skipped several days and months here, all the way till July 1st here. And I'm telling you folks, a lot of skipping time here. And skipping time on this map does take like just a little bit as well, because you're kind of waiting for some of the updating of the map to occur here. You know, 36X map, I mean, it just doesn't, update in a split second, right? You got to wait for the whole map to just like, okay, yep, it's still updating yet. Anyway, speaking of updating, everyone, I was thinking the wheat field here would be ready to harvest first, but apparently not, everyone. Fields 388 and 389, which I think those were our oat fields here, are actually ready to harvest first. So we're going to be heading over there. And yeah, that was oats. We're going to get started on those here first this episode. Haven't really done anything else between 380. Why does that field have weeds? That field did not have weeds here like last month. I mean, I went and checked it because I'm like, okay, making sure all the fields are good. Yep, all are good. Why are there weeds on that field? I don't get that. We plowed, didn't we? And we plowed that field, didn't we? I thought we did. Well, strange. Okay, well, that field's not ready to harvest yet, is it? No, it is not. Okay, so I guess we can at least spray that field, Evan. We should probably do that here right away before I forget. Let's go grab our sprayer. Not sure what shed that's in. Let's go find that here. I think it's in the big one here, if I remember correctly. Where it is. Yes, there it is. And we're going to use our New Holland sprayer for that, by the way. The New Holland that I cannot fill up for some reason has herbicide in it. By the way, I've been told by a few other people that this sprayer does work for them. So I'm not sure what's going on in my case. I just have not been able to fill it for some reason. If just this particular sprayer won't fill from that particular silo setup I have, or we maybe have some sort of mod conflict going on. I mean, I don't know. But for some reason, it doesn't want to. Well, that's a lot of weeds. That's a whole lot of weeds. Let's see what's here. We don't need that. For that. Good looking sunflower field there. And you really shouldn't see much for weeds on this field. We zapped them right away when they're young. Unfortunately, this field here, the weeds might have gotten a little out of hand here. We'll have to see what the weeds look like over here. Again, I actually checked for this, everyone. I actually checked, like, okay, making sure there's no weeds, and I wasn't looking at this field in particular. I was just checking, making sure all the fields were like weed free. So yeah, I was not expecting to see that over here. Really should have a see and spray sprayer for this one, because there's not like really a lot of weeds on here, but there are weeds. Wait for that map to update again. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, course play course. Who do I dare? Let's see if this will generate here. Make sure we turn off island bypass here. Let's see if we can generate this on camera, folks, and see how long it takes here a minute. Last time I did this, it didn't take too long to generate, and that was that the cultivating course? I think that was the cultivating course I ran. That one wasn't too bad, so I don't, again, understand why we are seeing the need for plowing here. That is kind of weird, but anyway, reminder everyone, while we're waiting for this to generate here, if you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, everyone, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And of course, once you are subscribed, don't forget to turn on your notifications there as well. Oh, I didn't even get to finish this. Oh, well. That way you get notified of the next latest, greatest episode going live. Don't forget to, if you'd like to join us in on the RDAllen multiplayer servers, that information also down below in the description there. We ask that you please join us in on the Teampseak server. So anyway, there we go. That course play course is generated again. What was that? Less than a minute, maybe? Somewhere minute? Wasn't too bad, if you ask me. Again, given the size of this field here. The one thing, of course, we do need to make sure we do is turn off island bypass. If that is on, that will not work. Also, ideally, it'd probably be nice to have more than one headland, which I might be able to do. Might be able to get away with more than one headland on here. Definitely thinking I'm going to straighten some stuff out here next time we got the plow one. Like I'm noticing along here, I don't know what happened here, if that's something I did or if that's the way the field was. I don't remember the field being this bumpy along here, this edge. Like, you can literally see it, and it's like, dink, 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 dink. What in the world? I don't know. We'll straighten that out a little bit. Maybe see what's straightening this edge out. Maybe I'll just go perfectly straight, too. We'll have to see what the terrain looks like. Like I said, definitely, we're going to be doing some more plowing here next time around. After we're done with this harvest, we are going to make some changes to some of these fields. This one here in particular, field 386, is definitely going to get some changes. We're just going to round that section out there. Might, depend on how this goes on, I might even get rid of that little hook up there. Maybe even 388 maybe needs some changes too. We'll see. Most of the rest of the fields aren't too bad. I can't complain too much about the rest, but a couple of our big fields here need some help. Anyway, that is underway. I was not planning on doing that here in this episode. We are now going to move back on to harvesting, everyone. Because, again, we got 2 fields of oats to start harvesting. So, you know what? I think we need to buy a header for this yet. And speaking of headers, everyone, these combines do not seem to be large enough to run the 45-foot draper heads. So, might have to move that tractor. There's a little shed Tetris going on. I think I can quite get out of here with this in the way. I'll just park this over on the other side here. Try to back it up somewhat straight here. I mean, in theory, I'm on, the Hardy sprayer. We probably actually won't need that a whole lot anymore. We were using that for fertilizer, but both our planters can put down fertilizer at the moment. So, I don't know. Might as well just get rid of that Hardy sprayer. We'll have to see what's got one. Also, you can tell what money-wise, we're actually doing pretty good here yet. We're down to $400,000. I don't remember exactly what we were at here after the last episode there with planting, but we spent probably, a good $200,000-$300,000 here between last episode and this episode. That'd be on, hired worker cost and seed. So, yeah, that's pretty good money, that one. We definitely spent some good money on that. Okay, harvesters. I want to see combinations here. Yeah, unfortunately, boy, smaller header. I don't like it, that one, but 45-foot head just does not work on these combines, unfortunately. So, and the part that don't work is the pipe. The pipe on these combines is too short for a 45-foot head. You got to be really tight to the combine to get that to work. So, hopefully the 41 foot just narrow enough to work better. Or if you folks happen to know maybe a different New Holland combine that's got a longer pipe on it, might have to look into that too at one. Yeah, maybe actually, what is the New Holland has a new combine now? The CR is it 1190 or do they have a different number? I know the case one's AF11 or something like that. But then along with that, New Holland also has essentially the same combine. And for those who don't know, Case and New Holland are owned by the same company, New Holland. New Holland owns Case. You have to think about it. At least when I think about that, I always think it seems like it should be the other way around. You think New Holland or Case would own New Holland, but as far as I know, it's actually the other way around here. New Holland actually owns Case, or I should say New Holland bought Case. I've got this full up combine here. And you know what? Well, that's full out. We need another combine anyway. At least I think we do anyway. 388. Yeah, we could probably run. Excuse me. We could probably run 2 combines on that field. Or I also have 2 fields to harvest on. We can put 1 on each field, maybe. That might be a good idea, too. Probably just going to end up selling that 45-foot draper head there. Don't think there's any pipe options on this combine, was there? Let me check this here a minute. I don't think there was. Harvesters. Let's see. The New Holland CR1090. Yeah, that just changes the tank up there. Crawler tracks, tires, GPS. Yeah, no pipe options. Say, I don't think Giants usually even puts configuration big, small. Interesting. I like the name of the configuration. There's big, small. Well, what's big and small? I don't think. And then, yeah, we never did have a Draper head here for our second combine. I'm not sure which combine which here at this point. If this is our first one or second one, but we do own 2 combines here. At least at the moment, anyway. We'll see if that changes in the future. Now, maybe we'll need some more here. Oh, okay. Well, you can tell from the money here. Well, actually, that doesn't necessarily tell the answer either. I'm like, just because one's worth more than the other? I don't know. 41. I keep wanting to say 44 foot. I'm a 41 foot head here. Corn heads. Huh. Interesting. I just seen the picture on that. Like, wait, what's that? Oh, yeah. And we'll need to get our grain carts and our trucks out yet as well. Oh, speaking of trucks, I keep forgetting to drive that truck back from the sell point. It is still sitting over there. Maybe when I'm done with this episode, because now I actually need the truck. Maybe I'll actually remember it this time. Out while we're driving there. Just the tank and the pipe pretty much. Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna grab a grain cart here too while we're at it. Let's see, what do we got for grain cart tractors? Actually, you know what? I think, yeah, usually pull it with this one here. I'm not pulling the grain carts here with any of our tractors with duals on them, everyone. Again, as I said here a moment ago, going back to the combines here with the headers and the pipe there. Yeah, if we have duals on the tractor, I mean, that just puts that much more space between the combine and the tractor. So, ideally, narrower tractors are better. So, tractor tracks here. We'll probably grab our quad track New Holland as well. At least for myself, Evan, I don't know about you folks watching here. I can't say I've really ever heard of New Holland's quad track tractors referred to as quad tracks. Is that just me, Evan, or are you folks as well? Like when you talk about like the John Deere quad track, Evan, or the Case quad track, the New Holland quad track. I can't say I've really ever heard that one talked about a whole lot, Evan, or heard that name before. And obviously, of course, when you're talking about the Case quad track, the Case quad track actually has a different spelling for quad track. Case, I do believe, has that particular quad track spelling license. Okay, let's start harvesting here. Oh, this is not a draper head. This is an auger. Grain table. Okay. I haven't noticed it. What is this thing here? Oh, it's holding. Okay. Just from this angle, I'm like, what holds that thing sticking in there? And it's just bearing holder for the auger. That's what it is. And for those of you wondering if we're going to be dropping straw, yeah, I don't think so. Not in this size of map, Evan. Not sure where the bale sell point is either. I don't know about you folks. I don't think I'd rather spend, half a day driving to that bale sell point all the time. Looks like we're yielding fairly decently here at the moment as well. As far as yields go, we should have a better yield here this time around than we did last time. Last time I didn't fertilize and or lime all the fields here. We did a couple of them, everyone. But this time, all the fields should be hopefully fully lined and fully fertilized here, unless I missed something, which, given the size of this map, I think it's certainly possible, right? A lot going on with this map here as far as everything going on. Even like the weeds over it. I still don't understand why we had weeds over here. That doesn't make any sense to me. Which they should be getting killed, hopefully. Yeah, okay. That's a mistake. That didn't look real good there for a minute. Yeah, definitely see ourselves doing some work over here as well, one. But there's like a cell phone tower here or something like that. This, obviously we're up at a little bit of a hill here. Not much, but a little bit of a rise, everyone. So I don't think this is any wet spot here. I'm betting there's probably like a cell phone tower or a tower of some sorts in this vicinity. Would have been cool, at least in my opinion, if the mod author would have put some of that detail into the map here. But alas, again, kind of the woes of a 36X map. The amount of time it probably would have taken the mod author to put all the details like that in, like, oh my goodness, right? I guess there's nothing stopping us from putting some sort of tower in, though, right? What do we actually, I think we actually do have some tower options. And we are playing with precision farming, so we could put, oh, where is it here? I think it's under here, right? Is it under tools? I think it's under tools. We have the, yeah. We got the John Deere RTK stations. We could put a John Deere RTK station there. It's not very tall or big. Is that one bigger? Nope, not really. They're kind of all the same, aren't they? Well, that's a really small one. I'm not sure what that is. What is that one? Oh, weather station, I bet. Yeah, we'll have to see once, Evan. Maybe we'll do that. Do a little work on this field here. Widen out the space in between the fields. A little bit more space there would be a good idea if you ask me. And then maybe we'll put like a little tower up there of some sorts. Again, could be wrong. I'm just guessing what is actually like supposed to be there in real life. Anyway, on that note, let's head over to the comment section here in a moment, see what you folks had to say here for last episode. Starting off with Birdman. Birdman was saying that soybeans make their own fertilizer. That's why you don't have to fertilize. Yeah, okay. Typically, you still fertilize soybeans, though. Usually, you're still putting fertilizer on them in real life. You're not just like depleting the fertilizer on the field and putting soybeans on it. It's usually not how that works. But the way it is in the game, yeah. Like no fertilizer in the game, which again still sounds a little bit weird to me. And as far as like the soybeans when it comes to fertilizer, you folks correct me if I'm wrong in this because yeah, all the little details there when it comes to soybeans. But soybeans basically take nitrogen and they create, I think they're called nodules if I remember correctly, in their root system. They create all nodules, which are nitrogen nodules, essentially, on their roots. So they put nitrogen back into the soil. Now, with that being said, you still need to have fertilizer for them, right? Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. You're not just, again, planting soybeans out in your fertilizer, typically. Hatcher was saying, good video. I've used the John Deere planter, the John Deere DB120. And if there's a map to justify using this planter, this is the one. Of course, pulling it with an RX9. I'm lucky to get 3 years. Oh, yeah, when it comes to playing on a map, I think that's what it means by 3 years. Early in Farming Simulator 22, pool maps dropping every month. I was having a hard time getting past 2 years. It goes back to what I was talking about there last episode. Like, how many of you folks, play on a map more than 2, maybe 3 years? Maybe 4 or 5 at the most. Again, just guessing on this series, Probably we won't make it much past 3 if I had to guess. Maybe 4. We'll see once here, but technically we are at this point of 1 year into this series here. When we first started this series up, and that was almost 20 episodes ago now, we started off with harvesting, and I don't remember exactly what time of year we were, so we might not actually be like 1 year completely since last time, but I think it was actually probably more like fall time last time I won. But we are at harvest stage here again, so and we are full. Wow. Oh, it's again one of the little bit lower yielding crops, but we didn't make it particularly far there. I'll have to see once here. Maybe at some point we'll, I don't know, auto drive or course by course. Depends what I'm having running the combine. If I'm running the combine, then it's obviously got to be auto drive, right? Because again, auto drive will only work if I'm running the combine. Or, well, actually, auto drive will work with anything running the combine, right? You got course play, hired worker, or myself running the combine. Auto drive will unload it. Course play, on the other hand, when course play is a bit course playist, and course play will only unload course play. Well, even with the 40, yeah, again, keep calling it a 44-foot head, everyone. 41-foot head here. You know, there's definitely some space there, everyone, but we're not any particularly too far away from that combine there. We're still fairly close. Anyway, moving on to the next comment here. Tim was saying, good video. I'm actually on year 7 on the Iowa Plains view. Almost farming the entire map at this point on hard economy. Ooh, that's a good point, that one. Yeah, depending on what economy setting you're playing on, that could affect how long you're going to play on a map as well. Again, as a reminder, everyone, when it comes to the game settings for like easy, normal, hard, it doesn't actually affect your gameplay at all. All that changes, that one, is how much money you make when you go to sell your crop. That is literally the only thing that changes, that one. And roughly speaking here, when you go from easy to normal, normal pays half as much as easy. And you go from normal to hard, same thing. And hard plays about half as much as normal does. Or if you go back the other way, you know, if you go from hard to normal, normal pays twice as much as hard. Go from normal to easy, easy pays about twice as much as hard does. Again, roughly, I mean, don't you know, give me an exact quote on those numbers, but roughly speaking, that's where those numbers fall. And again, that is the only thing that changes as far as like, well, maybe I shouldn't say the only thing, because if you're just starting a map, you have a couple options there as well, which will affect, you know, what we get as far as like buildings, fields, starters. You got some of those options as well, right? But that's kind of like 2 different settings there. One, you could start your gameplay on hard, and then I also have it on hard economic, or you could start your gameplay on hard and have like easy economic settings as well. A couple different setting options you can essentially choose from there. Christopher was saying, good video. Hey, thank you very much for that. Dustin was saying, I played on an edited version of South Mountain Creamery until Farming Simulator 22 came out, because Farming Simulator 19 looked trashy. Ooh, I thought Farming Simulator 19 looked trashy. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll have to say, definitely seems like Giants has made some leaps and bounds in their graphics department here, especially in the last 2 versions of the game here, if you ask me. One from Farming Simulator 17 to 19 were definitely some major changes. One of the reasons why, too, you've seen a lot of trouble in mod authors getting mods over into Farming Simulator 19. And then, I don't know if there was so much visible changes here in 22, but probably a lot more of the under-the-hood changes that happened here in Farming Simulator 22. Next comment here from Mason Farms. I am baffled on Giants with no nitrogen on soybeans. Every soybean I know requires some nitrogen to get the decent yield. He was saying we average over 100 bushel soybeans back in the fall of of year 22. And we sprayed them 6 times. 2 herbicides, 2 fertilizers, and 2 fungicides with fertilizer. Mason Farms was also saying, I think the longest I've played on a series is probably 7 years, back on Medicine Creek and Farming Simulator 19. Awesome video, keep it up. Hey, thank you very much for that. And that's a good point there, too, on Mason Farms makes, Evan. And in real life, Evan, when you see a farmer spraying their field, they're not necessarily just putting, like, one thing down, Evan. Sometimes farmers might be putting multiple products down. Multiple products that do different things too, right? Like he was saying, fungicide and fertilizer at the same time. Of course, there's a lot of chemistry that goes in with that as well, but I'm sure you got to make sure what you're putting in is not or is compatible with the other chemicals, right? Putting a whole bunch of incompatible chemicals down on the field, that probably would not be a good thing, right? So yeah, whenever you see a farmer out spraying the field, they're not necessarily just spraying for weeds or one thing in particular. They're probably putting more than one product down, maybe maybe some weed killer and a fertilizer, or a weed killer and some fungicide, or some fungicide and a fertilizer, or straight nitrogen, right? Especially probably a little bit more common with corn. But yeah, again, I'm with Mason Farms on that one. I still think it's really weird that, again, there's like no nitrogen required for soybeans here, or no, technically it's just called fertilizer, I guess, right? There's no fertilizer required for soybeans here in the game. It just seems really wrong to me. And of course, if you play the base game, you actually still have to have fertilizer for them. So if you get rid of precision farming, you still have to have fertilizer for your soybeans. We're looking good over here yet? Looks like you started the first up and down pass. Cool. What are we? Not quite halfway. Well, no, we are halfway around the field. Yeah. Good 2/3 of the way around the field, I would say, at this point. When we get the other combine going, I'll probably go grab our tracked New Holland tractor, or quad track New Holland tractor, and we'll pull the other grain cart with that one most likely here. Again, trying to keep the tractor somewhat narrow as well, as opposed to maybe using some of our bigger, well, maybe I shouldn't say bigger, but wider dualed machines. Well, on that note, I think with that, we're going to wrap it up here for this episode. Hope you folks enjoyed the start of harvest here, and stay tuned. There will be a lot more harvest coming up, everyone. We've got, well, they're not all ready to harvest yet, but once we finish up some of the fields, everyone, we'll just keep on working through the harvest here. Probably have some field work going on as well. So with that, everyone, you folks have any comments and or questions, be sure to throw them down below. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching. Until next time.